This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Thursday, April 16th, 2026, in the afternoon. Today's analysis examines the release of Claude Opus 4.7 and its unexpected performance comparison against Qwen 3.6. We look at the launch of Kampala, a new system for reverse engineering applications into functional APIs, and the policy shift forcing European civil servants off WhatsApp. This report also covers a pancreatic cancer breakthrough in CAR T-cell therapy, the transition to silicon photonics in data centers, and a new method for lossless prompt compression. Finally, we look at the implementation of a transformer neural network on a 1989 Macintosh. Anthropic has officially released Claude Opus 4.7, marking it as their strongest generally available model to date. This is an update to previous coverage of the Opus 4.6 release. Technically, the new model shows significant gains in software engineering, instruction following, and agentic coding. However, Anthropic notes that it remains less broadly capable than the restricted Claude Mythos preview. Mythos is currently limited to a select group of companies under a specialized cybersecurity initiative. Interestingly, early independent benchmarking has surfaced surprising results. In a series of creative and technical tests, the model Qwen 3.635b, a 3B, running on local hardware, outperformed Claude Opus 4.7 in specific image-to-prompt and rendering tasks. Analysts specifically noted that the Qwen model produced more anatomically correct and detailed descriptions, such as accurately rendering the complex features of a pelican. This suggests that while frontier models like Opus 4.7 prioritize safety and instruction following, specialized open-weights models are closing the gap in specialized creative reasoning. A new project from the Y Combinator Winter 26 cohort, called Kampala, has introduced a man-in-the-middle style proxy designed to turn applications into APIs. Unlike traditional browser automation or computer use agents, which are often brittle and slow, Kampala works by intercepting the network traffic of an application. The system uses an agentic framework to reverse engineer the existing workflows of websites, mobile apps, and desktop software. By capturing and analyzing the requests and responses between a client and a server, Kampala generates a clean API that can be used for automation. This allows developers to bypass the need for complex screen scraping or visual recognition models. It provides a more stable and high-performance way to interact with legacy or closed systems. The technical significance lies in its ability to automate tasks at the network layer rather than the interface layer, which is far more resistant to UI changes. European civil servants are currently being transitioned away from WhatsApp for official communications. This move follows an updated security directive from the European Commission, aimed at reducing dependency on third-party platforms that do not provide sufficient transparency into data handling. This policy shift is a grounded response to long-standing concerns regarding the sovereignty of European data. Officials are being encouraged to move to encrypted messaging services that support self-hosting or have more rigorous compliance with European privacy standards. Potential alternatives mentioned in the directive include Signal and a matrix-based element platform. This transition reflects a broader trend of digital de-risking within government agencies as they seek to insulate sensitive internal discussions from external corporate or nation-state monitoring. This is a signal from the future. Researchers have demonstrated a way to perform lossless prompt compression using dictionary encoding and in-context learning. This is an under-the-radar development because it allows large language models to analyze repetitive data without expensive fine-tuning. By teaching the model to recognize encoding keys within the prompt itself, users can compress frequent strings into shorter tokens. This reduces the cost of long-form analysis while maintaining perfect factual accuracy. In a related under-the-radar development, a new framework for role orchestration has been introduced. This system uses a single small model to play 3 distinct roles during the inference phase. By scaffolding a small model to act as a planner, an executor, and an evaluator, researchers have closed the performance gap between small agents and much larger frontier models. The system is designed to run on a single 24-gigabyte GPU, proving that sophisticated multi-step reasoning no longer requires massive, centralized hardware clusters. The physical layer of the internet is moving toward silicon photonics. As data centers face a bottleneck in traditional electrical signaling, moving data via light at the chip level is becoming the necessary standard. Silicon photonics integrates laser and optical components directly onto silicon wafers, allowing for much higher bandwidth and lower power consumption than copper. This transition is essential for sustaining the energy demands of agentic AI systems that require massive data throughput between processors. In the medical sector, researchers have announced a major breakthrough in treating pancreatic cancer. New data from clinical trials shows significant promise for an off-the-shelf CAR-T treatment. Unlike traditional CAR-T therapy, which requires a custom manufacturing process for each individual patient, this new approach uses pre-manufactured cells. This could drastically lower costs and decrease the time patients must wait for life-saving treatment. The community is currently reacting to a major security event involving Microsoft Defender. A hacker, claiming a breach of agreement by Microsoft, has released a proof of concept for two zero-day vulnerabilities in Defender, known as Red Sun and Blue Hammer. These flaws reportedly allow an attacker to grant themselves system-level privileges on Windows machines. In other security chatter, the hardware community is tracking a supply chain attack involving the popular tools CPU-Z and HW Monitor. Malicious versions of these programs were identified on the official download sites, delivering information-stealing malware to unsuspecting users. Additionally, Cookeville Regional Medical Center has reported a major data breach affecting over 300,000 people. The U.S. government has announced it will provide federal agencies with access to Anthropic's Mythos model. This move is seen as a strategic push to integrate advanced AI into national security workflows. Finally, keep an eye on PeerGo's version 1.23. This decentralized storage platform has implemented 8 times faster signature hashing, making large file uploads much more practical for peer-to-peer users. This concludes the Synthetic Signal Report for Thursday.